guys, I'm Jill and this is the PRP Project. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about anything and everything related to microneedling and platelet-rich plasma. So if you've been following along so far, you probably know that this channel is about whether or not I can safely and effectively perform a platelet-rich plasma facial with microneedling at home. And I wanted to do this video so that I could really be clear with you guys about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish with this YouTube channel. Essentially, I want to know whether or not a year of doing platelet-rich plasma with microneedling facials can increase the collagen in my skin. So the things that I'm really going to be looking for are whether or not those deeper lines like my nasolabial folds and some of the static lines in my forehead will actually be diminished over the course of the next 6 to 8 months. Now, I'm trying to have reasonable expectations, and certainly using PRP with microneedling is not some kind of magic bullet where you get results instantaneously the way that you would if you were using botox or fillers. So that's why I'm in this for the long haul, and that's why I hope that you guys will follow along and watch over the next couple of months as I stick to this routine and completely swear off of using any Botox or fillers for the next year or so. So if you watched some of my previous videos, I have explained what I've had done in the past, but I'll just kind of catch you up to date. It's been almost 2 years now since I've had anything injected into my skin. So around 2018, I was having Botox fairly regularly. I would say once every 4 months, I would have the sort of the center of my forehead targeted, because these two lines above my eyebrows, there, can you see that? Those lines were really starting to set in. I haven't had any Botox since August of 2018, and the same goes for filler. So I've had filler placed in my cheekbones and then sort of in the nasolabial folds directly to kind of like try and lift that skin that had been, you know, more or less drooping over the last couple of years, and then causing these lines, these nasolabial folds, to become a little bit more deep set. So what I'm really hoping to find out is whether or not using platelet-rich plasma with microneedling at home can offset some of those lines and wrinkles that I've been noticing that are becoming more prominent after I turned 35. So I'm going to be 41 in a few weeks, and you know what, for the most part, I think my skin looks great. And I'm really happy with the results that I've had so far with microneedling and platelet-rich plasma. But I'm going to be totally honest with you. Like, the lines in my forehead, I don't think that they have really diminished all that much. And frankly, I really wonder whether or not I can produce enough collagen through microneedling and platelet-rich plasma to plump out those lines. So that's the one area to watch where I would say I'm most skeptical. On the other hand, I have noticed that the nasolabial folds and my under eye troughs definitely have looked better to me than I had expected. So you can see I don't really have like a deep line on either side. Similarly, like when I smile, like sure, like I have a couple of like flat lines, that's to be expected, and you know, it doesn't bother me at all. But you know, when I'm static, they do seem to go away. So that's really the key for me. When I'm not moving my face, do I have lines and wrinkles where I normally would if I was, you know, moving my lips, my forehead, my eyebrows, that kind of thing. So one thing we haven't really discussed in any of my previous videos is the science behind microneedling. And I have done a ton of research, and I feel really confident that The science behind microneedling is fairly clear. There is a lot of research that has been done to indicate that collagen is produced in the skin when a microneedling treatment has been undertaken. So what do you need to know about microneedling? So I'm not going to beat around the bush. When you talk about microneedling to somebody who hasn't done it before, it sounds kind of terrifying. Like you're talking about little needles puncturing the surface of the skin in order to create an injury that is then going to trigger your own body's wound response system to repair that injury. Frankly, I don't even understand how many spas get people to come in for microneedling treatments when you describe it that way. Like, it just sounds so frightening. But as scary and creepy as microneedling may sound, the science is fairly certain. Creating those tiny channels into the surface of your skin will help promote collagen production. Collagen production is something that goes down dramatically after we reach age 30. That's why we see those fine lines start to settle in. Basically, your body just isn't building enough collagen to keep your skin lifted and plumped and to maintain that volume that you had when you were in your 20s. That's why we do microneedling. We basically trick the skin into thinking that there has been an injury so that the body will send elastin and fibroblasts, which then create the network underneath the skin called collagen, and that helps to give the skin basically its structure. It's sort of like if you were to think of the scaffolding underneath your skin that holds it up. That's what collagen does. While I'm still really happy with the state of my skin, and I'm not complaining that I have like a lot of wrinkles or like I look terrible or anything like that, I'm really doing this more as a preventative measure and to see if this is something that I can continue doing in the long run to maintain the health and vitality of my skin. So now that we understand a little bit about how microneedling works, I want to explain how platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, can really aid in the process of collagen formation. So if you've ever had, a skinned knee or a skinned elbow, you notice that your body will start to heal itself. That is exactly what we are trying to do by applying platelet-rich plasma on top of the injury that we already have created through the microneedling process. The platelets are essentially the tiny building blocks or the triggers really that help the skin repair itself. The platelet-rich plasma that we apply on top of the skin after microneedling is really intended to kind of step up that healing process and can really kickstart the collagen formation in a way that you can't really do just with microneedling alone. And certainly if you've had a microneedling treatment in a clinic without PRP, you may have noticed that it takes your skin 3 to 4, maybe even 5 days to start to heal. I have noticed that when I use platelet-rich plasma in microneedling, my skin starts to heal almost immediately. I would say, by day 2, my skin is looking a lot better than it would if I hadn't applied the platelet-rich plasma. And the way that I can tell is that my skin is not red. It doesn't have that kind of achy sort of sunburn feeling that it would if I hadn't applied the PRP. And just in general, like it starts to flake and shed the skin a lot sooner. And I can tell that my skin is kind of turning over much, much faster than it would if I had only had microneedling alone. Another reason why I'm so curious about platelet-rich plasma and microneedling is because it's completely natural. I didn't love the idea of injecting these compounds into my skin and potentially doing it for years and years and years. So the great thing about platelet-rich plasma is that it comes from your own body. You cannot reject it. You cannot have an adverse reaction to it. Now that doesn't mean that you can't get an infection from microneedling, but I would say that with the application of PRP, your risk of infection actually goes down. Just a quick interlude here because I feel like I'm not doing an excellent job of explaining all the research. So please do check in the YouTube description if you want to learn more. I've posted some scholarly articles for your reading pleasure. So if you're looking for a more natural treatment, if you're looking for something that doesn't involve injecting toxins and inorganic compounds into your skin, then I think that it's worth giving microneedling and PRP a good look to see if that's something that could help you achieve the results that you're looking for in your skin. So I want to be really clear about something because it's really just driving me crazy, all of these social media posts that I see by either medi spas or nurse injectors, plastic surgeons, doctors, who really think that they have a handle on sort of the standard of beauty. It's my belief that you get to decide what beauty is. No one else gets to tell you what you should or shouldn't do to your face. If you love your wrinkles because they tell the story of your life, I think that is a beautiful perspective. Likewise, if you love your skin when it's perfectly plumped with hyaluronic acid and you've had your lips done and your eyebrows are microbladed, that's great too. You get to decide. This is not a place where I'm going to judge anyone for the work that they've had done to their face or the choices that they make when it comes to their own cosmetic procedures. The reason that I am doing this is not because I want to look like I'm in my 20s or like I'm chasing some, unattainable standard of beauty. The reason is this: after I had my kids and my face really started to take on a bit of a different look, I just didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like I looked the way that I felt inside. So I wanted to get that back, and that's why I started looking into Botox and fillers, because I thought that it was going to restore the way that my face used to look. Now, as I've said before, that really didn't turn out to be the case. And so that's why I'm really interested in finding out if platelet-rich plasma and microneedling can just help soften some of those edges that seem to have come out in the last couple of years. So keep in mind, I have no experience as an esthetician. I've just spent a ton of time researching this. I'm just really interested in it. So that's why I'm doing this YouTube channel. I want to put this out there for anyone else who might be interested. And if you want to follow along to see if using platelet-rich plasma with microneedling over the course of the next year is going to make any difference at all in my skin, then please do subscribe and follow along. Let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if you like this video, and I will see you next time.